Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you a special box opening. We're going to do some double masters. Why in the world is John opening a double masters box? Well, because I've had it on my shelf for a long time, and I paid, I want to say a little less than $500 for it. I think it was like $498, something like that, some time ago. And I've been waiting for the price to go up to sell it as a sealed product. As you guys know I do. It's been sitting there on the shelf looking at me. And I looked at Mox Alpha and saw that the EV is in the 780 range. So I figured, why not give it a shot? This may be a huge mistake. Correlation back in these older products was very different. And they were not averaged out as much. They were spiky on the EV value. So I could be on a big loss here, but at the end of the day, there's some good commander cards in here which will help refill my stores of cards for selling, right, which I want to do right now anyways. And there's probably more than one that I want to keep for myself, which is probably the real reason I'm doing this silly thing. As usual, buy singles, don't open boxes. This is a terrible idea, but let's jump in and see how it goes. Oh man, so I've never opened this product. I have no idea how it goes. I did look up a bunch of the value cards, so I should be able to identify a good chunk of them. A lot of them are obvious, like Sword of Ice and Fire, Doubling Season, Avacyn, you know, all these things, right? I have no idea about the less obvious ones. There is a ton of valuable cards in this, obviously, with the Moxes as well as the Sword Cycle. Boring cards, that's where I'm gonna miss. So feel free to comment below if you see something super cool that's just not one of the main, you know, cards that you would know of. I'm gonna hold on to everything. I'm gonna price check everything. I really want to sell this product, generally speaking, and I have a feeling that I'll do okay even if I don't get to that 780 mark. I'll probably at least make my money back, but that means going through every single card, because there's like $3 cards and $5 cards all throughout this thing. It looks like a wild ride. The tokens are even like $4. So let's jump in. I'm excited. All right, let's see what we got. What do we got? All right, what is all this nonsense? Oh my god, like a cardboard top thing back when they did the weird triangle boxes. Let's just do a box topper. Why not? See what happens here. Try to do it this way because I feel like I always, or could, mess up the cards if I do it another way. What did we get in here? Oh, come on. And then I could just mess up the cards because I suck. Let's try this again. Let's do it that way. Wow, that plastic is really delicate. Hey, Lightning Greaves is always a hit, but it's probably not a very big hit. And Karn Liberated. I did see that in the top few pages, so it's definitely a couple bucks. I don't think it's a top page card. Let me just flip through real quick. See, Lightning Greaves. Okay, it's an $18 card. Karn is $17. All right, not a bad start at all. Let's get going here. All right. Excuse me, I still have my cough. I'm going to get all these packs out because this box is ridiculous. So, back in the day, when they wanted to do something crazy, they made these boxes like this. Look at how much space is in there. There's nothing in there though. It's just a huge gap. I don't know why they did it this way. It makes it incredibly difficult to store on the shelf, I'll tell you that. Let me tear this cardboard down and toss it. Let's hope we get some hits on this. I mean, I think we started out well. This box topper is not bad. I do like this worm coil engine on the top. It's one of my favorite cards. It's in one of my decks that I've recently been playing in Commander. So I am excited about that. Let's see. Let's get this sorted here for you so you can see all the cards. Maybe Ugin can give us some luck. I guess the best hits will go up there. I don't know. Ooh, wow. Wow. And that pack opens very, very gently, very easily. Like I said, I don't know if any of the commons are valuable. I will go through them at the end. Versus Power Plant, that's usually looked for. I've sold some of those. And there's another Lightning Greaves. That's a classic, probably not worth too much. Blood Moon, can't complain. A couple bucks there. And some foils and some foils. And this plant is actually worth money. I think it's $384. I'm pretty sure I saw it when I was skimming through. Just quick double check. Alright. The Blood Moon, if it's the full art, is worth a lot. Like $9. Where was that plant? The worm token's $350. I swear I saw the plant too. I'll check it. It's probably worth it. What's on the back? Okay, it's just an advertisement. Alright, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm going to get a little distracted here because I'm excited about this product and I want to open it up. I'm very excited to see what I get. Ever-flowing chalice. Yeah, see, there's some good stuff in here. That's really quite good. And these are commons. Squirrel. Everyone loves squirrels. Squeal. Alright, Ancestor Blade. Sorry, I'm going to take my time. So just sit back and relax. Imprint. Yeah, nice little clone on there. That's nice. That is nice. Artifact enchantment cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under the owner's control. That's not as good. That's not as exciting. Conjurer's Closet. Yeah, so I've been recently. Oh, double foil. Interesting. I didn't even know that was possible. Color mana spent to cast it. That's cool. Huh. Weird. I have recently been going through old cards because I have cards that I collected as part of my playing collection that I never put up for sale. And well, I put a lot of stuff up for sale. I just had a bunch of them sitting around. I was going through them and I realized that cards I recently bought for decks I'm recently working on were actually in the box. So I'm very interested in learning about what's actually in these cards before I sell them, because I am starting to rebuild a sort of Commander's staple, collection. Most of the stuff I'm just gonna take out of whatever collection I have, the shop or whatever else, right? If I have them just sitting around and handy, but a few things I want to hold back and never sell because they're just useful cards that go into a lot of different decks, right? Like, this card is not that useful for the decks I have. I actually I cut it recently because I didn't have a way to get it off the battlefield. So someone has to target it. No one's going to target it because it gives me an advantage. It's really one of those for sacrifice and return type decks. And that was not the deck it was in. So it was kind of a bad card for the slot. I'm getting better. I'm learning things. Or is this mine? That's cool art. I like that art. Sorry, can't quite see it, can you? Living Weapon. I'm very much enjoying those in my Rayer deck or whatever. The guy who, if it's equipped, you can get double strike for any other creature that is automatically equipped and ready to double strike. So it's a pretty good way. I'm actually thinking I'll put this aside. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna look for more and more living weapons to fill in creature slots on that one. Because I think that's going to be useful. Interesting. That might be good for this one too. One cost creates a little guy to go. Oops. Uncommon. Drown in Sorrow. Rage Reflection. Double strike automatically. Awfully expensive. Hey, Sword of Ice and Fire. There's our first big hit. It's definitely in page 1. The whole sword cycles in this, as well as the Moxes, as well as Mana Crypts, Force of Will, Doubling Season, Avacyn, Sword of Ice and Fire. That's a $37 card. So we are working our way there. Hey, an actual germ token. You always see these, but I never actually. Well, that's not true. In Phyrexia, I believe I had some. It's been a while since I opened Phyrexia. It's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that. A Braid. That's a good card in, which one was that? CMM? Commander Masters? I think that's what it was. Had a Braid. Oh, another one of those. Okay, so they're very common. They're probably very affordable. Actually, I do have this card. That's weird, because I got a Sift and the Sickle Slicer. Sickle Slicer recently in that last pack. So, it's a little curious. A little bit of a repeat here. Cranial plating. I feel like this is valuable. I remember this art. Oh yeah, for each artifact you control. That's probably good in that artifact stack. Dark Steel Forge. Oh, that's nice. I don't know if that'll be valuable in my deck, but it's a nice card to hold on to for any artifact deck, right? Does that mean artifact creatures become indestructible? Leave a comment. Artifacts you control have indestructible. All artifact creatures become indestructible. If so, that's a deck worth building around, or a card worth building a deck around. If I could speak English, I would do my best. Nice angel. Look at that beautiful angel art. Might have to go my angel deck. I do have an angel deck underway. It's very, very prototype. Darksteel Axe. It's indestructible. +2. Nothing really special except it's a 1-drop. That's not bad. I don't think it belongs in my artifact deck. I had someone playing this in one of their decks and they were able to keep cycling it out of the graveyard. It was really cool. Did not realize Magnifying Glass was that old. Sacrifice an artifact proliferate. That's how my old deck worked. It was the what the heck is the artifacts that start with +1 counters on them and you can move them? Modular? Modular. I think that's it. That was my previous artifact critter deck. Yeah, see, that's good too. I might have to rebuild. I'm going to have a hard time selling a lot of this stuff, I'll tell you that, but that was kind of the point of opening it. I wanted to look at that mirror. God, that's awesome mirror. I see why the tokens are worth money. They actually have some really cool art. Yeah, man, that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time selling a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna do my best to sell at least enough to make up the value. We'll see what we get though, because if all the value's in like a mana crypt, then I'm just probably keeping the mana crypt. I'm probably not gonna sell that. Yeah, see, this is one that bounces stuff. Nice land. Most of the lands I'm sure I will end up keeping because I found that, put that over there. Yeah, I like this one. What? Oh, it's a Kraken. It's a what? That's a cool card. I didn't even notice it was, I just saw the land and I was like, oh, it's just a land. That's a pretty neat card. Expedition map and foil. That might be something. Sword of the Meek. Pretty fun. Tuk Tuk the Returned. He's legendary. Why did they put that in the description? He's legendary. I know legendary creatures existed at this point, so I don't. It's right there. Why did they put it in the description? Because it's a token? Okay. Patience Dragon. A lot of those. Death Hood Cobra. That's cool. Fabricate. Squirrely Squirrel. It's not really that great, unfortunately. Let me know if I'm wrong and there's a reason for it. I guess if you have landfall, it might be worth it in that, but otherwise I don't really see it. It's pretty good. Wow. That's crazy. So it's really strong at the end, but only at the end. Interesting. Man, I'm not hitting the foils here. It's unfortunate. Will we get a Force of Will? Will we get a Cyclonic Rift, huh? I sure hope so. So far, no dice. And we're about halfway through, sadly. So I may end up just being a sad John. And that's okay. Oh, I used this in my Yorion deck. I'm not sure if it's still in there, but I used to use it in there. It was definitely one of the ones I played in there. It's a weird one. Alright. Let's just keep this flowing. Clue token. Weird. Yep. I'm having fun. Enjoying Commander. I'm in a new chat group. We got our little pod. We're talking about it all the time. Having a good time. Looking at different decks, how to do it. That's pretty good. Seeing how to build decks better, that sort of thing. No, that's not quite something I care. Ooh, Hinder, that's cool art. I love that old school art. It's wild. I love that art. Like, I really like that. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put the card on top or bottom of its owner's library instead of into the player's graveyard. Well, why does it cost the same as a regular counter spell then? I guess you could do it for some weird shenanigans on your side. That's pretty good in my artifact deck. That might be a good remove. I think I have to put this off to the side. Oh yeah, this one, Blasphemous Act. That's a classic. All the lands. Gotta save all the lands. Hopefully I'm not missing anything that's good. Squirrel. They've used that same squirrel art for a while, haven't they? Squirrels are gonna be hot. I believe Bloomberg is gonna take them to a new level. Could be wrong. But it does feel like it's heading that way. A lot of, let's see, another living weapon. Urza's Power Plant, usually really good. Ancestral Blade, I've seen a million times. Yeah, Basalt Monolith. I was just listening to a podcast about this. You can do some shenanigans to get infinite mana with this thing. Definitely saving that one. Phyrexian Revoker. Okay, that's not as interesting. Blightsteel Colossus. I got one of these already. Not this particular version, though. I had a Infect deck, I think, that was using it, so everyone's sitting around. Look at that elf. It's a bug. Look at those feet. That elf is a bug. Elf Warrior is a bug. Hashtag Elf Warrior bug. Yeah, sorry I'm taking my time with this. Like I said, I'm just going to have to sit back and relax because I want to take my time. I want to enjoy this. I'm going to get a feel for the whole thing. I feel like I bought a pair of these or was looking at a pair of these. I'm going to put this off to the side, just check it out with my artifact deck and see if it's any good. It's definitely the one that's most on my mind, but I have a Narcy deck, enchantment deck. Ooh, 0 cost to regenerate. That's pretty good. It's kind of cool. What else do I have? I got my Dina deck. Very excited about that. Maelstrom Nexus. Ooh. Wow, that seems really cool. Cascade on the first spell every turn. That's a nutty card. Let's see. Oh my god, that's really fun. Just randomly pop off and destroy target permanents. Any permanent, why not? Why not? Doesn't fit my artifact deck, but it's still pretty cool. Cast down. Frogify is funny. Gelatinous Genesis. Yeah, that's good. Reclamation Sage. I'm not sure if I own any of those. I know I've looked at them, but I can't remember if I bought any. If I have some sitting around. Bosch Iron Gauntlet. Or Golem. Jeez, I can read. It's pretty good. Might be a nice finisher for one of my decks. Red-white could do it, technically. It's got the red in it. And it does have CMC golems, artifacts, but it's not focused on those, right? Like, that's not a big factor to it. Yeah, I'm not great at the game, I'll tell you that. I'm doing my best, but I am learning every time I play. This is kind of fun. It's a simple thing, it's a small thing, but it's kind of fun. But yeah, I am slowly getting better at the game, I would say. Examining the places I am weak. Oh, this is why we open this. A real Mox Opal. All of my Mox Opals so far are proxies, and I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to have more real cards. Merciless Eviction. It's a cool card too. Urza's Mine in foil. That's got to be something. That's got to be. I don't know if I can keep that, because I can just have it Urza Mine. Oy. I'll just put it here. We'll take a look at it. Servo. That's a cool critter. Yeah, so anyways, that's why I open it. For the Mox Opals, for the whatevers. There's a lot of really usable cards that that I want. And that's why I really wanted to open it. Also for the shop. That's what I'll keep telling myself, but reality is I knew there was cards in here I want. Seems good, but expensive. It seems a little tough to. I guess it's good in some ways. Draw a card for each charge count. That's great in a sack deck, huh? When you sacrifice, do a thing. Culling dice. It's kind of cool. Sounds metal. Alright, I do not think I've gotten to the 500 Brainstorm Classic. $500 point. I think this will ultimately be a loss, but I'm okay with that, unless I just am stupid and missed stuff, which is totally possible. We'll see. Ooh, nice little filter land. Keep that. Oh, I bought one of these for one of my decks way back. This is back before I came back to it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We're almost done here. A couple more left. I know Mox Opal is not a $500 card. It's a nice card, don't get me wrong. It's a great hit. I'm not going to cry about it. And that was the game here. We knew what we were getting ourselves into. There's this tower. It's funny that lands are continually good. Lightning Greaves again. I will take more copies of that, I'll tell you that. Those things move. Interesting. Welding Jar. Eldrazi Spawn. Yeah. Building up my collection. Enjoying my decks that I'm building. I started building this Saint Traft something or another. It's like Saint Traft and some dude. I'm just going to call it Saint Traft deck. That seems pretty fun. It's Convoke untaps it, and every time it taps, it does like creates a critter. So because of that, there's going to be some crazy combos where it like taps, untaps, taps, untaps, and you're creating creatures, and you won't be able to tap those creatures that turn unless you play something that wants you to tap those creatures that turn. But it basically builds up your mana base because every creature helps convokes the theme, blah, blah, blah. Seems like a good time to me. It doesn't quite fit in Dina. She's fun. I have a lot of work to do on her. I have her in a place where it's like she's good, she gets going, but she doesn't have the finish. You know what I mean? You ever have a deck like that where it's like, okay, it's on theme, it's doing the thing, but the thing is just not quite enough. And you need something to take it over the top. I haven't quite figured that out yet. If you know of any Dina finishers, things that make her really powerful, combos, whatever, let me know in the comments. Then I'll be able to take it to my next game. People will be like, whoa, you're so good. And I'll be like, yeah, someone told me on the internet. And I will name you to my friends. It's cool, old school treasure token. That is, unless I'm playing against a CDH guy, because if I'm doing that, then he'll just think I'm an idiot. It's fine, because I probably won't play it right. I'm not very good at knowing when to pull the combos off and that sort of thing. It's a charm. Wow, there's a lot of those in Brothers. Oh, now I can need a creature with power 3 or greater. Trample. Okay, that's pretty neat for a 1-drop. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Heat Shimmer. Voice of Resurgence. Not that great. It's fine. Ooze. Alright, last few packs. Let's see what we get to. How this goes. This was a fun opening experience. Definitely got some cards for my collection. I do not think I'll have cards for my collection and enough to sell and make the money back. That I doubt thoroughly at this point. Classic Exile. Force of Will. Not bad. I'll probably keep that too. Avenger of Zendikar. I don't know this one. Neat. That's a neat card. I have no deck for that. Oh, Cyclonic Rift in foil. All right. Well, now we're getting to a point where we're making money. I don't know if we're making real money. Like, I think I'm still under the 500 mark, but finally hitting some cards. Hitting some cards. Skinwing. Another living weapon. That's got to go in that. Gotta take a look at that. Angel of Dawn. Look at that art. Jesus. I know, this is like old stuff. For people that have been around, they're like, yeah, John, that's not special. It's been around forever. But that is gorgeous. Mistress Factory. Hey, another Filter Lane. Oh, another Cyclonic Rift. Okay. I'm gonna shut up about my complaints now, because I'm definitely hitting some things. I think I just bought some proxy Cyclonic Rifts, so guess I'm not going to need those, although that foil one's going for sale. I will sell it and buy a normal one and use the difference for something else, you know. Gotta be tactical in this stuff. You can't just get stuck. Huh. That's a weird one. Wonder what does charge counters. Can't just get stuck with stuff, you know. I gotta cycle it, gotta buy stuff, gotta sell stuff. Doesn't make sense to just like obsessively hold everything when you have a shop, right? That's the whole point of the shop. Gotta buy stuff, gotta sell stuff. But I can take a few hits for myself. Nothing wrong with that. It's half of the fun. Why own a shop if you're not taking some for yourself? At least that is literally the purpose of my shop. Is to be able to afford. Exploration is a good card. That's a really good card. Hammer of Nez. I've never seen this. That has to go into my freaking deck. That is so good for that deck. That was worth the whole box, in my opinion. I know it wasn't, but that was good. That was good. All right, let me go see what this whole thing is worth. I will be right back with a summary. And we are back. Yeah, I was wrong. Definitely made my money back. Probably a bit more. I just went through the commons on... I mean, sorry, not the commons. The uncommons, rares, and mythics. And a couple of the foils, like the Cyclonic Rift, obviously. It was only like 2, though. It wasn't many. I left most of the foils out. So I left these tokens out, which I'm keeping separate because I want them. This pile of foils, there's probably a few things in there value based on what I've grabbed so far from the others. And then the tokens as well. Probably not much in there, but there was like a couple $3 to $4 tokens. So, you know, add a couple bucks. Yeah, it went well. $557 worth of value and a ton of stuff that I want to keep. And now I really have to sit down with myself and decide, am I a shop or am I a player? This is the stuff I'm going to keep around just for the sake of it. This is probably good in one of my decks, my equipment deck. This is like 18 bucks, but most of these are not super valuable with a few exceptions. Basalt Monolith's a couple bucks. I think this Blink Moth Nexus was a couple bucks. The Filter Lands, obviously, and a few more in here were a couple bucks here and there. So these were not the big value, so I'm not pulling out too much value, but I am pulling out some. There's a ton of big value in the year, including some things I didn't expect. This is where it gets a little crazy. Oh, wait, is this the right pile? No, this is the wrong pile. This pile is the pile that had all the value. This is where it gets a little bit crazy. Pongify. It's a good card. I think I have another copy of it, honestly, but it was like $5. Did not see that coming. I guess I'm an idiot. These are like $5. This was like 3. I have a couple copies of that. I don't need it. This was pretty interesting. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here was worth something, and not like $1, but more like $3 to $5 quite frequently, with a few being exceptionally good. Obviously that, obviously that, obviously that. These ones I knew, but some of them I did not know. This was a lower amount. This was good, obviously. That was good, obviously. I don't remember what the price was on that, but a lot of this stuff was really quite good. And $557 for the box as a whole, without going through the foils, without going through the commons, and without doing the tokens. These were all under $1, so quite a few. You know, your ratio, if you're looking at like, what do you get out of it? Well, this versus this is basically what you get out of it. And that's, again, excluding foils and commons. And then this is a nice split. There's plenty that are like under $1 that I'm keeping. It's just because I want them for my decks, or just to keep certain land around, that type of thing. Reality, I will probably pull more stuff out of here. As I was going through and hitting the numbers, I'm like, what is that? And I read it, and I'm like, oh, that's actually quite good. I didn't know what that card was. Like, I just missed it, right? Yeah, there's quite a few in here that I was just like, oh, wow. I didn't realize what that was. Greater Good was one of those. It's like, wow. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to sell these. That is the point. It's going to be hard to sell these. Some of these I'm not selling. This goes in my deck. I've been wanting to get one of these, so that's fine. Darksteel, definitely keeping that. Some of these are definite keeps, right? Some of them, Force of Will, the real ones, Cyclonic Rift. This was actually cheaper, the foil one. The Fancy Art Lightning Greaves can go. Karn Liberated can go, because I actually have another copy of that. That's not the Fancy Art. Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time selling this. A lot of these are very useful. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I make some money back on the box. If I make, I guess like half, I'll feel pretty good about it. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, guys. It's hard. Like my friend said, you shouldn't do your own supply. It's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. I should just be a shop, and then I don't have to worry about cards I want to keep. But I've been playing more and more and having a great time with it, playing Commander with this pod. And so I want good cards I can draw upon for my decks, and oftentimes I just don't have them. So it's pretty sweet to be able to open some of this cool stuff and get some stuff. I should just buy singles, I know, but it's not the same, and I have the stuff on the shelf already, as opposed to wanting. So it's like I've spent the money already. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Let me know in the comments what you think. What should I do? Sell it all? Keep it all? Sell some? Keep some? Some cards maybe overvalued, or there's a replacement for it. If there's one, you're like, hey, there's a $10 card that will replace that $30 card. Sell the $30 and get this instead. It'll do just as good in most decks. Let me know, because that's the sort of stuff I don't know, being somewhat new back to Commander. There's definitely stuff I don't know about, like replacement type cards, and I just see the valuable ones, and that kind of catches my attention. I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really good. I don't know about the 6 other cards that are kind of like it or close to it. That may be $2, $3, $4, right? So if you have those types of hints, I would really appreciate leaving in the comments. Until next time, I hope you guys are out there cracking packs, playing games, and enjoying this hobby that we love. Have a good one.